Salem podcast. This is a big episode. We got Mayor Julia Hoy on. Thank you for being here, Mayor.
Yes, of course. My pleasure.
We appreciate you. It's been a
I
big couple of
appreciate you.
years.
Yeah, it has.
Busy season for you currently.
Yep.
So we appreciate you making time to join a podcast and chat with the people of Salem a little bit.
You got it.
And we are here at Metronome, who is the host of our podcast. We appreciate them being an incredible host. If you're looking for a place for your band to practice, get out of your garage. This is an awesome option. They have rooms available at a variety of price ranges, and including per hour. So if you want an hourly space, they have options here as well. And Veronica, you have a paint your partner art class coming up in February.
Yeah.
What is that? Sounds dangerous but fun. Tell us
I know,
about
right?
what this is gonna be.
Just as long as we get the upper lip shading correct
Okay.
on the ladies, we're gonna be good.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's kind of a trend that's happening right now. A lot of people are painting each other like in their living rooms and stuff like that. I wanted to give people a space where they could do that with beer and wine, good beer and good wine.
Sure.
And also somebody who can actually help,
Yeah.
and maybe facilitate a nicer picture.
Awesome.
So we'll just start with like a general sketch, of the human head, and then I'll let people kind of go from there. And
Okay.
it's a lot of fun though.
So it'll be kind of like a short tutorial of here's some like basic
Yes.
fundamentals to think about.
Yeah, exactly.
And then, all right, then make your partner look amazing.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That's
So
right.
tell us the windware and how people can sign up.
It's at Ratchet Brewing in Salem. It is on February 14th, and I want to tell you what time real quick. It is at, I want to remember this properly. I think it's at 5:30. Yes, 5:30.
Okay.
So 5:30 on Valentine's Day.
5:30 Valentine's Day. So on February 14th.
Yes.
Which is nice. That's like a before, kind of do that, have some fun, have a drink, maybe go to
Exactly.
dinner afterwards.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
And you'll get good drinks there, and it's fairly close to like the downtown area, but also just hang out there because it's a cool spot too.
Okay.
So.
And
Yeah.
Julie, you're very much an artist as well.
I do all right.
I think some people know this about you. She's
I
like,
can't draw.
Cannot draw.
Nope.
But musical background.
Yeah.
Tell us about that. I think people of Salem maybe know a little bit, but probably not a lot of details. Even myself included, I feel like I kind of know surface level Julie Hoy as a
Yeah.
musician.
Yeah. Well, I started young. I found a guitar under my mom and dad's bed when I was about 6 or 7 years old and dragged it out. We were playing hide and seek
Okay.
with my brothers and sisters, and they didn't find me.
Okay.
I found a guitar and asked mom if I could play with it, and she said yes. And it literally became my companion,
I love it.
and carried it everywhere I went pretty much, and began to write songs at that age and learned a few chords from a cousin of mine. And yeah, wrote my first song called Love is a Word. When I
Okay.
was 7. It was inspired by my
That's age 7.
my
Incredible.
16-year-old sister and her boyfriend at the
Do
time.
you still remember it?
Are you kidding? Yes, I remember it. It's the foundation of my being.
I love. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
It's called Love is a Word.
Okay.
Yeah. Love is a word. Love is a meaning. Love is when you love someone else.
Oh.
Yeah, that's incredible. Age 7, right?
It has a
About
second
love.
verse, actually.
Okay.
Love is when you care. Love is when you give. Love is when you love someone else.
There we go. At age 7.
Yeah.
That is awesome. And so you were watching your sister and her boyfriend
Mm-hmm.
and kind of observing, like, what does it mean to be
Oh.
in love?
And
'Cause
my
how old were they?
they were 16.
Okay.
No, he was older.
Okay.
we won't
Okay.
talk
Okay.
about
Okay.
But that was back in the day when phones cost money, the phone on the wall,
Yeah.
and we had like huge long distance bills because
Okay.
of their love.
Okay.
And,
Okay. Love
yeah,
is
I remember.
expensive.
Yes, it is. That's so funny. Anyway, that's where it started. I sang that song for the PTA talent show in the 3rd grade, well, before a few hundred folks, and my mom remembered the man sitting behind her saying, "What's her act? Is she going to stand on the guitar and try to reach the microphone?" I wasn't quite as tall as the guitar at the time.
Yeah,
but,
that is wild to be a grown up harassing a child. Where are you in your life?
I was
if
just
that's what
thinking
you're
the
doing?
same
Yeah.
thing.
What happened to
Like,
you?
go
Yeah,
home.
okay. Okay.
Wild.
Who were some of your original inspiration? If you think of artists that you looked at as like, wow, that's That's what I want to be as a singer-songwriter.
Oh man, original. As I began to write more and play more, and by the time I was 16, I had my own gig book of other people's music, and I was singing in a local dinner club. And so I had to cover 4 sets worth of music, and I remember learning from my brothers and sisters' record albums. I never bought a record album growing up, but so like for instance, Joni Mitchell and Paid Paradise put up a parking lot, Big Yellow Taxi. She played that live on an album, and I could hear her tuning. So I learned how to tune to be able to play that.
Okay.
Yeah, I did. So Joni Mitchell for sure. Gosh, you name it. Johnny Cash. My mom and my family had one of those big consoles that did record albums and 8 tracks, and I just spent a lot of time listening to a wide array of artists.
Okay.
And I think that influenced my writing to be broad spectrum also.
Yeah.
I appreciate a lot of different kinds of music and write where what I feel inspired by.
It seemed like at that moment there were just so many different types of musicians that were kind of making music in all different pockets. And I feel like now, because of the internet, there's just like this, I think people feel like their worth as a musician is a reflection of how many views a video gets or how many listens it gets. And so I think it unfortunately motivates people to kind of make music that is familiar and sounds like this other song, because that will probably do better and be more shareable. So before the internet, things were a little different.
And some would say, when music is being cranked out of music towns by groups of studio musicians, it all kind of starts to sound the same.
Okay.
Which is frustrating. For me, I really enjoy originality when it comes to music. I mean, Bob Dylan and Bruce Springsteen and all those folks who really just let what was in come out and let it be what it is. That's the way I operate too.
Did you watch the movie about Bob Dylan by Timothy Chalamet? Did you feel like it represented that time pretty well? Or?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought it was great. You started to talk about likes, how many likes you get, or what's your viewership, and I think it's interesting to look back at the history of music and musicians and how we've been so subject to change, like everything. But you take, everything that I recorded since 1995 is on CD. Oh, well then CD players go away and everything becomes digital.
Yeah.
So suddenly the ability to actually have any kind of income from the product you've created is reduced dramatically.
Yeah.
Then, and now vinyl's coming back. I mean, it's so we're just sort of.
I think vinyl's always been there if you're the right type of musician.
I think you're right.
Like music the right way.
You're exactly right.
There's been this culture, I think, that has stuck to vinyl, because there's so much music that's only available on vinyl.
Yeah.
It's not going to be digital. Never come out as a compact disc. But yeah, to your point about CD players not even be available, I think it was a year ago somebody handed me a CD on the street. And I was like, I don't even have a way to play this. I'm sorry.
My car's too new.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Do you have a link I can use?
I saw this thing somewhere that was like, no wonder we don't trust anything. We went from records to 8-tracks to CDs to one of those iTunes thingies. It was like all within like us growing up. Every time you like loved a piece of music, you had to buy a new thing to listen to it.
Yeah, it's like iPhone adapters.
Yeah.
What's going to be next after MP3s? Or say, I don't even have a way to play digital now. It's going to be with the next brain chip. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Nice.
There we
How
go.
do you make your playlist? Just think about it.
Think about it.
Yeah. Or someone else thinks about it.
I was gonna say
for
they
you.
make a playlist for you.
That is wild.
Yeah.
Because with AI, you can like think of the kind of song you want, and it'll just like make a new song that's like this genre that you want.
Yeah.
I don't know. We're getting way off topic here.
Right.
But,
That's okay. It's fascinating.
Yeah. I do want to thank Phil DuPont Financial Group for sponsoring this podcast. It's awesome having support to help keep this alive. And Mayor, how has it been different? The expectations going into it, which you can never really know, right? But then the reality of being mayor, and now already, like you're just like, all right, I'm starting to get warmed up to this, not to run again, to be the mayor again. How's the expectation been different than reality?
Well, the expectation was very minimal because I didn't know what it was like to be mayor.
Yeah.
I just knew that something needed to be done, and felt called to run for that office, and won. So it's been a path of discovery for the last year, learning how to operate in all the spaces with all the folks, and Salem's come a long way in 12 months. It's super exciting.
What are the things you're most proud of in the last 12 months?
Most proud of. I can't speak without talking about the condition of our budget, which used to be like the most boring thing for me to think about or talk about. But the fact that 12 months ago we were supposed to be $23.4 million in deficit in 2026, and we're not there anymore. We're actually at over a $3 million to the positive.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not all because of my leadership, but that's because of the leadership of solid city staff, especially the new city manager, who's just pretty amazing. And Salem is blessed to have her. She's been with the city for coming on 26 years now, I guess, and maybe over. Anyway, she's got a whole picture view of the city and its condition, and she's watched it for a very long time, and she's extremely capable and able to lead, and the respect that she has amongst the leadership team and city staff is palpable. So when you feel that kind of a shift, then people enjoy coming to work, and they see positive change and progress. And I mean, I hear joy, I hear laughter in the work that's being done in the city office these days, and it's and pride. It's good.
I think that is one of the big advantages of an internal promotion, is generally that person has the respect of the people on the team because they're familiar with their background. They know a lot of the inner workings. I think about when I worked at T-Mobile. I worked in the call center for a while, and anytime somebody would come in from the outside, there was this kind of like instant, like, I don't know if not lack of trust is the right word, but there was just a lack of credibility where it's like, yeah, you're here, you're saying these things, but you don't really get it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I think for her, she came in, everybody knew that she understood Salem because she'd been there for so long. And hearing her story in one of the city council meetings, I thought about the hero's journey, like that story arc, where there's this person that has this calling and they finally step into this bigger role that they were meant for. And it seemed like that was kind of her track.
Yeah, absolutely. I would totally botch telling her story. She tells it beautifully.
Yeah.
But even as a little girl, her dad told her she would one day be a city manager.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, that's
It
pretty
was
incredible.
foretold.
Yeah.
Just having that type of prophecy in your life is incredible.
Well, and
My dad
let
told
her
me I'd
tell
be a
you.
Blazer, a Portland Trail
Yeah.
Blazer. I played community
Why not?
college basketball, but that part never quite panned out, unfortunately. But yeah,
that's a big dream for a lot of folks.
for sure, yeah.
Are you okay?
I'll be okay.
Okay.
We'll get
Just checking on you.
Yeah.
I care about
My
you.
dad was like, "You're gonna do social media when you get older," in the '90s.
I mean,
Yeah, like it doesn't exist yet, but trust me,
right.
that's what it's gonna be.
Yeah, and you're going to be really good at it.
There you go. Thank you.
Now, Krishna has a great story. She should, I hope she'll share it publicly someday, but the first year that India allowed women to go to college, she got in.
Incredible.
And she didn't just get in, she scored 45th in the entire nation out of, I don't even know how many applicants. And when she went to receive the stamp of approval from the person who was doing that job, she told me, the man stamped that you got in because you're a woman, basically. I don't know what that looked like, but, and she said, no. I got in on my merit, and I want this to reflect that.
Yeah, I couldn't get in forever because I was a woman, but like now there's options, and yeah,
Yep.
that's great.
So to fight for that, I mean, that spirit and that drive, and I think, you know, I'm totally paraphrasing and taking liberty with her story, but she tried to fight that calling to be a city manager, and she did a lot of other really amazing things, right?
Yep.
And now she's there, and she's had a brilliant career in other aspects, but now we get to benefit from her life experience and job experience. And yeah, it's a wonderful time in Salem for us to have her in that position, and it's an honor to be able to work with her and to
Yeah.
lead together.
We need Krishna on the podcast. We need
Absolutely.
to make that happen.
Making a plea to City Manager Krishna Namburi to come on to the podcast.
Let's go, Krishna.
Yeah.
Mayor asked. Let's go. I love it. So you have a restaurant in North Salem.
We do.
I think North Salem is has a criminally underrated food scene. Like there are
Absolutely.
so many great options that fly under the radar.
Right.
I don't do a good enough job covering it. I'll admit that. I do my best. But there are a lot of spots that I haven't covered. I'm curious to hear from you.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's hard for you to pick favorites in your position, but what are some
and
spots
once you
that
start to name stuff,
like,
you're
people
in
like,
trouble because
yeah,
afterwards somebody's going to go,
what
"Why didn't
about
you
me?"
say me?"
Yeah. So in the comments, let us know what we forgot. Don't get mad at Julie for not naming everybody here.
No, it is. You know, I'd be remiss if I didn't say that Geppetto's Italian Restaurant isn't a pretty great place to.
Let's go.
Yeah. Chicago style pizza.
Yeah.
Did you? A lot of people don't know, but
I
if you
didn't
know,
know
you know.
I didn't know you had Chicago style pizza there, to be honest.
Oh, okay.
Because Masonry has it. I thought that was the only place.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
No, what we have was established in 1974 by Tom Barsati and his mother. They came from Chicago to bring Chicago-style pizza to the Valley. They actually stopped in Bend in 74 or 72 and almost stayed there,
Okay.
but they wanted to be where more people were at. So they came to Salem. They were the first business in that strip. And before there was an Office Max, so there was a field and parking and all that stuff. And put up this big giant oven and started cranking out thin crust, thick crust, deep dish, stuffed, calzones, strombolis.
Yeah.
Making their own sauces, meat sauce, marinara, Alfredo, pizza sauce, calzone sauce. Ma's raviolis are made in-house still today. And they obviously did a great job setting up things because 52 years this year later, it's still doing.
There you
you
go.
know? And Tom still
alive.
comes in to eat.
That's so cool.
He comes in a few times a week. So enough about Geppetto's, but
I was gonna say I'm from Chicago, and I live down the street from it.
oh my gosh,
So now I have to go and check it out.
come on in. You know, actually, Jacob, we deliver Olive Kaiser in Salem, and a lot of folks don't know that we have our own delivery service. We don't third party, so it's a heck of a deal. Yeah, we had a third party company come in one time,
Yeah.
and they put pizza in the bag sideways.
You can't do
And I
that.
was like,
Chicago style.
I was gonna say, especially not Chicago style. That's a
That's wild.
disaster.
We
Sir,
caught
have
him
you
before
seen
he
a
went
pizza
up to
before?
So there was that. But favorite places, if I may. When I came to Salem, my husband was born and raised here, Roger Hoy. His family was here for a long time. He and I met on a blind date up in Seattle. We moved here in 92, married in 92, moved here. There was no good teriyaki in Salem. Now, somebody may know better, but I couldn't find it. I came from Seattle where there was good teriyaki on every corner practically. So that's been resolved in my book with Love Love Teriyaki. So that's one of my favorite places in Northeast Salem. There's the Los Dos Amigos, which is north on Lancaster.
Yes, that's where we would go as kids all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Always ate way too much every time we went there. It's so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's the Yard Food Park. Of
Yeah.
course, it's kind of really a fun place to be able to go indoors and eat from food trailers and enjoy the entertainment and other things that they have going. But if I remember COVID, do you remember
Vaguely.
the pandemic?
Blocked it out.
Yeah.
Block it out. Block it out, remember.
Amnesia.
The last 5 years are just a blur.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
Yeah.
One of the gifts of that, now we didn't close. We didn't close one day. We immediately directed all of our energy toward takeout and delivery.
Okay.
And we had friends call from other restaurants to ask for direction. How do you do it? I mean, we'd been doing takeout and delivery since 74. So we were set up. Can we borrow some of your pizza bags? Can we, tell us how you did it?
Mhm.
And so it kind of sparked an idea in my mind of supporting those other businesses. And if you remember, Salem Eats came out and they folks were posting reviews and such.
Yep. Yeah.
I started very deliberately visiting other restaurants and bringing food to our staff from
That's
other
awesome.
restaurants around town. So like Sparky's, we would bring Sparky's food in. Azul's Tacos was huge. You know, I think Tino might have been my first
Okay.
actually with like 330 taco trays,
That's
you know,
awesome. Yeah.
and bringing them back for everybody to just munch and
Yeah.
and enjoy. And our folks maybe don't get downtown much, you know,
Mhm.
so it was exposure to other people's food, the wild pear, the Ritters, the and the others. So I have a lot of favorites around town. You know, if I want to go fancy, it's Cozy and Bentley's and blanking. I want to try the new Rudy's. Have you been there yet?
I think I
Creekside?
haven't been there yet. No.
Yeah, we haven't either, but that's going to happen. I'm hopeful for that.
Yeah.
You know. Anyway, I really enjoy food and I enjoy restaurant people. I know they work hard because I know we work really hard,
Mhm.
365 days of the year.
Yeah.
And we literally close 3 days a year.
It is such a tough business, the restaurant industry. We did a podcast with Cecilia Ritter and I don't remember who the other guest was. I feel bad, I can't remember now. But just talking about the margins that you get in restaurants and like
Super thin. It's more like ministry, honestly, for me and my husband. It's which is crazy because we took out our retirement savings to do that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we're all in that space, and that's certainly incentive to never give up, whether it's a pandemic or a fire in the neighboring business or an algae bloom in the canyon or whatever. You just pick up and roll, and that's how we have survived.
I think for a lot of people that aren't in the business community, you don't realize like how many businesses aren't making money at all or barely making money.
Mm-hmm.
And so you think like, I mean, yeah, they're a business.
They own a
pay for
business.
anything. Yeah.
Right.
And it's like the reality is, yeah, but they're probably making less than you make.
Well, and these are the times, right? I mean, when we bought Geppetto's in June 1st of 17, minimum wage was like $8.30 an hour. Now we're paying over $15 an hour for minimum wage. It's and food costs have gone up exponentially, and it's not easy.
We're at a place, and it's not just a Salem specific thing, but people need 2 jobs at this point. Like you have to have your job plus your side hustle just to like pay bills and try to go out. And when you're barely making it, it's hard to think about, okay, how do I also go out and support a restaurant or this local business when I'm just trying to figure out how to pay like bare necessities that I haven't.
Right.
I mean,
Well, I own an entertainment company. Like what we do is entertainment. That's the first thing that goes when people can't afford to do things.
Yeah.
You know, maybe you can afford to go one time this year, but you know, it's really a smash and grab when you're, you know, trying to do something. And really we want to just like, we try to make it as affordable as possible, but there's only so much we can do when the prices of paint goes up, the prices of canvas goes up, you know, things like that. So
Yeah, no kidding.
are you okay if we do a new segment presented by DuPont? I'm gonna say that again so we have a good clip on the Instagram. Are you okay if we do a new segment presented by DuPont Financial Group?
Sure.
I'm gonna ask you.
Wait a minute. I just said yes to something and I don't know what it is. I have made that mistake and I don't want to make that mistake again. What are we talking about?
I'm gonna ask you a few questions.
Okay.
They're dad jokes. So you get to rate the dad joke.
Okay.
Tell me if it's good or not, okay? So in Salem right now, people are complaining about the cost of gas and electricity. But what about the cost of chimneys? It's through the roof. 1 to 10, where are we at that joke?
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good, okay.
I like that.
I'll keep going, okay.
I'm a fan of dad jokes.
How do you find Will Smith in a snowstorm?
I don't know how, no, but I'm laughing already. I just love that joke. That's
The
funny.
answer is
You look for Fresh Prince.
Very well
Ah.
done.
Thank you.
Whoa.
When does a joke become a dad joke?
I know this one because I told it to him.
When it becomes apparent.
Oh, that's sweet.
I
like that.
We got one more for you. So I have a job. I hate it. I crush cans all day. So depressing. Is that the worst one?
Yeah, that's
Okay,
pretty much the
okay.
worst one.
Hey, DuPont Financial Group, thank you for presenting our first dad joke segment we have here. All All right, let's get back to serious mayor
Wait,
business.
I have a dad joke.
Okay, let's go.
What do you call it when you make a wreath out of $100 bills?
I don't know.
A wreath of Franklin's.
Yeah. That's so good. I never would have got there.
And by the
Never.
way, I'd rate the chimney number one.
Okay, that was a pretty good one. All right. Okay. Okay, so now we're in the election season.
Yes.
And I think what a lot of people want to know is after this first 2 years, where do you see Salem going from here?
Mhm.
How do we get there?
Well, I think it's important to talk a little bit about how far we've come. I mean, the budget is huge. That's unheard of. And again, we didn't make that $23 million or almost $30 million turnaround without a whole lot of hard work and effort. We had to pass a budget that didn't look good. We had a forecast review team come in and take a look at things. Brought us from 23 million to 17 million. Then we passed a levy when nobody thought we would, and that didn't happen because of council. That happened because the voters decided. The library has more hours now. Things are better than they were for sure. Making it through that, improving our public safety, which was my primary focus. Adding the HST officers to downtown. We're in greater collaboration with the county. We have done so much in the last 12 months while being under the scrutiny of the Ethics Commission and other forces that it's pretty incredible. Where do I want to go? I want to keep moving forward and creating a brighter, more vibrant place and livable for the people of the city.
What does that mean when you say vibrant? What does that look like for you?
Oh, this is a pretty vibrant room that we're in right now.
Yeah.
I would love for just Salem to feel like it's got a lot going on, and spaces downtown are full, and businesses feel supported, and the people feel safe going out, walking around, and we have a long way to go. We need more housing. I mean, there's a whole list of things that are going to make it better to be here. And I feel like my job is to be listening as closely as possible to the people who can get these things done, and learning from their experience working with the city and make a way for a faster path for more housing, for instance. We've made a lot of progress in terms of our water supply. We know a lot more now than we did not so long ago. We're connecting to Kaiser's to make sure we can run should the drawdown happen or not. There's a lot of unknowns in, I don't know anyone who can really predict the future. So we kind of have to take it one project at a time and do it well, and know that those goals and dreams are out there and we're working toward them, but priorities come.
I think that is a valid point of thinking through, okay, here's like our ambitious goal in the future that doesn't really have a timetable on it, but then also being able to articulate, okay, next 2 years, here's what we can accomplish, right? Here's the next step in getting there and helping people. I think sometimes those easy wins can help build momentum towards a bigger vision. And I feel like something that Salem really struggles with is a lack of identity. Like when people think of Salem, there isn't like one thing that they think of. They're like, we're the capital. I saw this thing this crime that happened there because Portland TV reported about it. And so that's what I feel like people think about when they think of Salem. But not necessarily. I don't know if we do a good job as a community of like figuring out what is our thing and how do we rally behind that and get people excited and create some momentum.
That's a great question. I really feel like Salem is a great place to live and raise a family, and we need to hang on to that. We need to keep that small town, big city feel. We're the second largest city in Oregon, and that means something. And we are also a hub. We are the I-5, east-west 22 spot, and there's a lot going on in this town. that needs a lot of support and nurturing. Good and bad.
Mhm.
We've got a lot going on here, more than people see.
Completely agree. I think that's why I started the page, was because I knew there were so many things happening that people just didn't have visibility to, and finding a way to communicate that, create excitement, and it's gone really well. And I think every community has this gap right now, just because local media doesn't have the same financial support it used to have in the 90s before Facebook and Google kind of took over the ad spend of all these companies. And so every newspaper in the world is working on a shoestring budget.
Yeah.
And I think we just need to figure out how do we think a little bit differently about how do we tell the stories of our community. I mean, Statesman Journal used to have how many reporters? Like 40 people just telling the stories of Salem. Now they have like 4 or 5.
Yeah.
Salem Reporter has like 4 or 5, and they're doing their best with what they have, but it's challenging for sure. There's a lot happening here.
Jacob, I was in the Capitol building a couple of weeks ago for several reasons, but one of them being the dedication of the newsroom. And the person accepting it was named after him. Is it Peter Wong? I gotta Google because I don't want to get it wrong.
Okay.
But it was amazing to hear him speak. There used to be 68 Capitol reporters, I believe, in the building. Now they're 15. It's how things have changed. It's not unlike the conversation we were having about music, right? And technology. By the way, we left out cassette tapes.
We sure did.
Yes.
Remember?
Yeah.
Winding them up a little bit.
Yeah. I was listening to the radio, hitting record, and my song came on, making my mixtapes. Yeah.
It has been getting popular again.
Right? They're coming back. There's like a movement.
Yeah. If you go to Radness and Sue's, a lot of those bands will have cassette tapes.
Is there somebody local that's creating them?
I don't know,
Okay.
but I bet you Wavelength
Somebody
does.
probably does.
Yeah.
Okay.
Press offices were named for Peter Wong.
Peter Wong. Okay.
Yep. And that's an obvious long line of service in the Capitol space, and it was really fascinating to hear him talk about how things have changed. And we're in it. We're in that new space.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of legacy newspapers are relying on grants to keep the doors open, and
Wow.
very grateful that we have those because we need newspapers and news sources. But if those grants are down, like that's kind of a band-aid, not a permanent solution.
Right.
So, yeah.
It's also a what's the word? Kind of a fragile time, I think.
Yeah.
Where the temptation is to just go for what is going to make people click,
Mm-hmm.
rather than to report, what is true and not relevant, but relevant, and just truth represented. I have a dear friend who's in heaven now. Long time ago, Father George told me. I went to him. This was long before any of this environment we're in right now. Probably 20 years ago. I said, what do you watch? Because I can tell when I hear people talk which channel they turn on when they go home.
Yeah.
And I had stopped turning it on because I was like, I just need to, what do I watch to know what's really happening? And he said, well, it's really boring, but C-SPAN.
Yeah.
That's what's really happening. And he was right. I just turned it on 2 days ago. I was like, okay, this is not sexy, but it's true.
It's hard because it forces you to do the work.
Yep.
Like you have to sit there and watch, and pay attention. And the news programs their job is to chew it up for you and make it digestible,
Yes.
right? And you have to do that own work. It can be pretty challenging, I think, for some people, and just even have the time and space for it.
Yeah.
Speaking of news, there's a traditional debate that happened last year. The Salem Reporter. Sounds like it maybe is not happening this year. We're unsure. And I know they did an article saying that it's not happening.
Yeah, we have time until May. I think the election's May 19th. But I just felt it was a good idea to consider more than just that. And I think there's something coming up, March 10th.
March 10th, yes. They're hosting a debate. It won't be a traditional debate. We're trying to make it take a different approach, make it more approachable for people.
Good.
That maybe that wouldn't watch a traditional debate. I think there definitely is still value in the traditional format,
Mhm.
but for kids that are 18 to 30 that maybe aren't interested in that, let's give them something else that's more familiar, more of a podcast type of feel. So excited to be doing that. Absolutely very grateful that you and Vanessa have agreed to participate in it. I think it'd be great for the community and a chance for them to get to know both of you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. I need a drink.
Yes. So is there still, like, is that door still open and from your side, or are there
For the
certain
Salem
things?
Reporter?
Yeah.
Oh, we'll just have to play it by ear.
Okay.
I'm not saying no, but I don't. No, I'm good right now.
So I think the criticism I've seen is people are like, well, she did the chamber debate, and now there's another option, and is that the only debate she's going to do?
Mhm.
And it sounds like for you, I don't want to put words in your mouth, like maybe tell me, like, moving forward, are you interested in other options to debate, or is that something?
I would consider any option.
Okay.
Sure. Yeah, that's. Then the truth is, we don't have to do it,
Mhm.
right? I mean, I'm here as mayor. I'm doing the job. I know what we are doing and wanna continue the progress. And 2-year terms make for a fast turnaround, and so we're running.
Mhm.
And I just, not gonna lie, I kind of wish it wasn't happening because it feels like a distraction for the progress.
The election.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, but it needs to be done, and we'll get through it.
Yeah.
So I'm count on the fact that I'm being very discerning about everything that I'm doing or not doing.
Okay.
And want to do the right thing for the community and keep the focus where it belongs, which is on our livability and a clean, safe, and healthy Salem.
I think definitely time consuming, considering the mayor position is a volunteer position, just like all city council seats are. So you have to figure out, okay, I need to make a living. I need to do my roles as a mayor. Then also I need a campaign if I want to be mayor again. Like that's a lot on the plate that there isn't a financial reward for. So I think everybody in city council that is putting their name in the hat and wants Salem to be better, like, I commend it. That's why I try to create a platform where everybody has a seat to tell their stories, because I think it is remarkable that people sign up for these types of positions where they will certainly be publicly ridiculed by one side or the other, depending on how you're voting and your thought process. So I think it's awesome, everybody in city council. Thank you so much for your service to Salem, because we need people stepping up, and for people that are in the comments criticizing constantly, like, sign up, put your name in the hat, run a campaign, and try to figure out if you think that you can do better, or interested in doing better. And hopefully, through platforms like this, more people will start realizing that, all right, I can run and make a change in Salem if I want to put the work in.
Yep, we need to do that. I would I want to say that I could not be doing this volunteer job if I did not have the support of my husband, Roger, and he's picking up my slack at the restaurant. And so
So instead of 80 hours a week, it's 160 hours a week. Is that how it
And
works? Roger's back here. You can't see him on camera.
he said if I didn't say his name and something nice about him, whatever. So I did. No, it's very true. Also, it's a restaurant, right? It's not an easy business. It's not like I just have another job that I show up and go to 8 to 5. It's 7 days a week. So I'm in at 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning to make the minestrone, because it needs to be done and I love to do it. And it's 22 quarts at a time. It's not just a little pot.
Yep.
Anyway, his support and the support of our staff. Our staff is really incredible, and they really stepped up to fill in the gaps for me. And it's probably I do between events and meetings. Oh my golly, the meetings. There's so many meetings, and so many boards, and so many commissions, and probably about 60 to 80 hours a week, and for no pay.
Yeah.
So I'm not in it for anything but the opportunity to serve this community, and that's why I'm here.
Awesome. I think it's great. You and Vanessa are running that want this seat. understanding all of the responsibilities that come with it. A question I got from my audience from a few different people is, for the average person in Salem that's working a job, has a family, trying to figure their careers out, like, why should they vote for Julie Hoyt? What's your kind of vision to make sure they're having a better experience living in Salem?
Well, I think I would say that they can count on me. They can count on me to show up. They can count on me to be very discerning about the decisions that I make. And we've already come so far in just 12 months that it can only get better.
Mm-hmm.
We need to keep the momentum and continue the positive direction that we're headed in. That's what voting for me would bring.
How do you paint that picture in campaign season of, here's what we've accomplished these last 2 years or a year, and then here's what we can look forward to next? So I feel like Vanessa shows up a lot. Like, she's really active on social. People know she stands on things, and I feel like we don't see as much from Julie. And maybe that's intentional, or maybe it's just you're doing other things. You're doing the work,
I'm
and
doing a
so
lot of things.
you're not. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm showing up in the public a lot.
Okay.
And I love it. You know, it's not my style to throw up a Facebook Live video. It's not the most comfortable space for me to work in. I do have, the opportunity to put out videos now and then when it really matters. And I think it really matters.
Yeah.
But people know, and that's not the only platform.
Yeah. But I think it's an important platform, and there's a lot of people that spend time there that aren't going to be at the in-person meetings.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know, might be something to think about.
Mm-hmm. I'm here, aren't I?
You are. Thank you. You showed up out of your comfort zone on a live stream.
Mm-hmm.
It's awesome. Another question I get a lot is ODOT, and people wonder why Salem can't clean up properties that are owned and operated by Oregon. Can you kind of help explain that process there and what Salem can and can't do?
It's been you just made me think back to buying the restaurant, because it was with our home, actually. We used to live on county property, and back in the day, the city council could annex you in without you being able to vote. So they would put your property on the ballot, and then the voters would decide whether or not you got annexed. So that happened to us in our home. That's the only reason our home is in Salem and not still Marion County. Our business, half a mile closer to downtown, is in Marion County. It's in the city, but it's an unincorporated property. So if I call for police or fire at home, it's Salem PD or Salem Fire. If I call for police or fire at the business, it's Marion County. So that was I learned a lot about who you call, I learned our landlord had a no trespass letter of consent on file for years with Salem PD. Well, they don't respond to us. So I taught her, hey, you got to get this done with Marion County. So then it's not just Salem, City of Salem, or Marion County, it's private property. There are spaces of private property. Then it's, oh, wait a minute, there are state properties, Oregon Department of Transportation properties. And we first saw that when the giant, around the time when the giant encampment was under Market Street, right? And then you realize, oh, well, wait a minute, that's not Salem PD's responsibility, that's OSP's responsibility. So what is OSP doing about that? There is a real distinction between who's responsible for what, and we can tell right now, currently in Salem, that it's the ODOT properties that are suffering the most. And ODOT, I would say that they don't have the money to handle it. They're really thinking about cleanup and not about the people who are in these spaces.
Yeah.
And so the city is wanting Marion County's help, and we are in cooperation now. We started the REACH team last week, and and the HST team is showing up. That's through Homeless Services team through the city of Salem, is showing up in our encampments to try to help people to get into the services that they need. ODOT's just moving in a different place, and their claim is that they don't have enough money. Now, having been through what we've been through in the city with our budget in the last 12 months, I'm thinking maybe ODOT and the state needs to take a look at how they're spending the money that they've got to spend, and what are the priorities right now, and maybe shift some of those to these conditions that were created by measures 110, right? Unchecked drug use for 3 years in our state was a calling card for folks to come and do whatever they wanted to do in the most beautiful living room in the world for no accountability and no consequence. So we've come into a mess, and we need to come out of it. Now, I made a motion at, what day is it? Is it Wednesday?
Wednesday, yeah.
Monday night's meeting that for the city to work more directly with ODOT in communication to give us a timeline of what their plan is. And that is super important. Some want just want to wait for the city to give us updates. That wasn't enough for me. I want a timeline. I want to know I want them to say, we're going to be there on these dates or for these times or this often, or we're going to put this much effort into it, because we're doing everything we can, and we're now doing it in cooperation with Marion County, and we need to know what the state's commitment is, and we need regular reporting on that, not just, we want the community to see that we're actually working on a solution to these problems. If we don't bring it up front with regularity and good communication and visibility, then they can't see anything happening, and they think we're doing nothing.
I think that is the hard part for people in Salem, myself included, is that you don't really know what's being done unless you're tuning in to like all these different. And some of the conversations aren't even broadcast necessarily, right? Work's
Right.
being done, it's not being streamed somewhere. So like,
That's my point.
you just don't know that it's happening, and so you sit back and like, why is nobody doing anything? And there's lots of work that's being done. It's just sometimes it's a slow moving train.
It's a slow moving train that feels like, well, whatever, that we'll just keep doing our work. And
Yeah.
I'm like, no, do your work and tell me what you're doing, so that when people ask me, what are
Yeah.
you doing? We can actually say, this is what's happening. And they see it happening.
Which is the hard part of government, because you can't necessarily hold this person accountable. They don't report to you.
Right.
You're relying on influence almost entirely to try to like get somebody over here to like make the needle move in Salem.
Mm-hmm.
And Salem's not everybody's priority, unfortunately,
No,
at the same level.
we are one of 241 cities in this state,
Mm-hmm.
and every one of them has ODOT property.
Yeah.
So it's a big issue, but we are focused in Salem on Salem's issue and Salem's community and the livability problems that we've been having, and want to show the community that we are actually making progress. So.
And I think the bigger question is Salem's unhoused, and
Yep.
What happens there? How do we take steps forward? What is the right solution? Something I saw Manny Martinez post recently was like, we just need a space where people can go, and I feel like that idea could work, and hopefully help out a lot of people that are victimized in these areas where they're just hidden, from everything. And people end up there, and it's just, you hear about all sorts of just awful situations that come from that. But also you have people who don't want to go to a shelter because they have a pet and they're not going to let a pet in, or they have a partner and you can't come in with a partner. And so there's lots of reasons that people wouldn't enter these. And like, how do we create this environment where you can come? There are bathrooms and showers and like a place for you to put your stuff, so you're not having to like move your stuff from one place to another all the time. And is that the right solution for Salem? I think is another question people will ask.
Right. I can't say for sure. I know that unmanaged camping isn't working. It's creating an unsafe environment on many levels. And
I
that's,
feel like unmanaged camping doesn't work for anybody across
No.
the board. I would agree with that.
No, it doesn't. And Jacob, I don't know, have you been out with the HST team at all?
I've seen the videos. I haven't been up for some.
You should go.
Yeah.
I've been out many times and watched them work, and the fact that they develop relationship with this population is really important. And when you get to that place with someone where they actually say, you know what, I'm done. You know, I want to get to rehab, or I want to get to treatment or detox, or I want to be in a house. You know, let's figure out how you can make that pathway. It was interesting for me to watch. The Salem Housing Authority was having a really effective impact in the camps. Their team was going out and speaking with folks and getting them the help that they need, and doing the best that they could. And the state took away that funding, so that team was disbanded. It's like the state keeps doing things that making it harder for us. So to your original question, I don't know exactly how a space would work. It couldn't just be a space. It would have to be operated and paid for and managed by someone or group to be effective and to be healthy for those in it.
Because it feels like the costs would be less than the costs involved with like cleaning up the city everywhere, right? But
Gosh.
I'm on the outside looking in, so I'm not the expert. I'm just like thinking through what it potentially could look like. What are some of the potential benefits?
I want to tell you something that the city manager mentioned the other night. One day last week, 10 tons, one day, 10 tons of trash was taken from Wallace
We
Marine
posted
Park.
the video. We posted that video.
Did you?
Yeah. 10
Good.
ton, and it was how many in the like 40 tons in
It
a
was
month?
41 tons in December. 41 tons of trash. And, you know, I get a little fired up about this stuff because I don't like trash, and I don't like the way it looks, and you know, I can't pass by a piece of garbage without dealing with it, and I wash my hands a lot. Roger can tell you, my son used to call me the Lancaster gnome because I would go up and down Lancaster and take shopping carts back to the stores they belonged to. Anyway, I've got a real thing for it, and I get fired up when I think about people focusing their energy on whether or not a corner of Bush Park gets mowed or not. And we've got what we've got going in Wallace Marine right next to the river. Literal mountains of trash, and the people in it are what matter the most. Except where do our priorities lie?
Yeah.
So, anyway.
It's a heavy topic for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully we can figure out a path. And like, here's what we're trying to accomplish. Let's work towards that.
Let me say this. I think we are on a good path. We're just making slow progress. The HST team has been instrumental in Wallace Marine I don't even like to use the word clearing, but meeting people where they are at, getting them to where they need to go, and creating safe space in that park for the softball fields and the other activities that go on there. And yeah, those guys work hard every day. Oh, and by the way, did I say this already? We're up to 7 days a week with the HST team because of the donation from the downtown businesses for a 6-month pilot. 7 days for the homeless services team, extra 2 officers, and then the cleaning team, which is now called CST, is 7 days a week also. It's making a huge difference. That's why they were able to come up with so much trash in that one day.
I think for me, like the plan, there's lots of great things that are happening, but I think what's missing, and it could just be, I don't understand it, like what are they all building towards though, right? Like what's the ultimate goal that these steps are helping us get to? And maybe it's not there, and it's challenging, I think, in the government as well, because things outside of Salem's control are changing, so you have to kind of adapt your plan at that point. And but yeah.
That's one of the reasons, like the repeal of House Bill 3115 that I'm a part of, not as the mayor, but as Julie Hoy, to regain that local control so we can actually have some autonomy in decision making about how we move forward.
You have a thought, Bronco?
Me?
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Thank you so much. No, I mean, I just like anybody else have no solution to a problem that has, plagued humanity, I think. But in general, I think that making sure that people are educated on the programs that can help them, making sure that we aren't pigeonholing unhoused people as one type of person, or I mean there's thousands of reasons people can be unhoused. Making sure that there's plenty of programs for like education and helping people even just get IDs, licenses, so that they can be a part of other. I mean, those are just the things that I've always thought were really, really important when it comes to unhoused people. But
It is. You're exactly right, and that is happening. That's happening for folks when they're able to and willing to get connected. They can get those things that they need to be able to advance.
And knowing a lot of them are like not a lot of them because but many of them are veterans, and my husband's a veteran, and and understanding the mental health, veteran mental health, and where the resources that they can get and where they can go, and making sure that they feel that they're safe in those places, I think is incredibly important.
Yeah.
So,
Thank you. Yeah, there's much to be done, and a wide array of folks, and everyone has an individual story. There's no pigeonhole. You have to consider everyone.
Yep. Anything we didn't chat about today that you'd like to cover?
I don't know.
Feeling good?
Well, let me look a little. The REACH pilot and the fact that the PCC, the Psychiatric Center, moved to Commercial Street in a bigger space so they can have greater capacity to serve those in need, I think is huge. The fire chief, did you hear his story about the person that was met where they were at with the REACH team?
Yes.
Man, that person suffering and then realizing that because they had the time and the ability to connect with her, get her to where she needed to go with the right kind of services. He also, in a different meeting, mentioned a person who we're trying to serve. It was in the press conference, actually, that a certain person in downtown Salem has had emergency services called for since March 300 times. One person.
Wow.
Obviously not
Since
getting the right
March.
help.
Yeah.
Right? Obviously not.
That's one test every day.
that's wow.
And so this new team is hopefully going to be, not hopefully, it is going to be able to relieve some of the pressure from law enforcement. And it'll be the right team showing up to help and getting them to the right places where they need to go to get the help they need. So we are making progress in Salem. It's a wild ride, and it's not all bad.
That your new campaign slogan? It's a wild ride.
It's a wild
Julie Hoy
ride.
for mayor. It's a wild ride.
No, campaign. There's a lot going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
Do you have a campaign slogan?
Do I? Oh, shoot. My campaign slogan, hasn't changed since my run for council, and
Okay.
that is, hope for today and tomorrow.
Okay.
I never give up. You know well, I'm a person of deep faith, and that is where I'm rooted and grounded, and how I base my decisions in a power that's far greater than I. I'm just a child of God and looking to serve.
I'm just a child. There's probably a song about that, right?
I bet
you
you
have
wrote a
them.
song about
I
that.
probably have one. How many albums? You have 14 albums out, you say?
Yeah,
Are they on Spotify?
children's book and a bunch of other stuff.
Is it on Spotify? Can I listen to your music?
Spotify, I think I got some on Spotify, iTunes, Apple Music, my website,
All of it.
all of it.
There we go.
Yeah.
Julie Hoy, everybody, thank you so much
Jacob,
for being
I
here. We appreciate you.
Thank you, sir.
Can we see the painting? Is it almost done?
It
it
is
done?
all done.
It's
Okay, let's take a
beautiful.
look. Oh my
Look at
gosh.
that.
1 hour.
That looks cool.
Matter, do you want to zoom in on the camera
Yeah,
here?
let's zoom in on
We can
this.
bring it in.
And once again, I can teach you how to do this in 2 hours. So
I don't think that lens zooms. I think it's just
I just gotta get it.
you gotta physically move the camera.
Look
Yeah.
at this. Wow. That's really cool.
you.
I want to be in that forest.
I know, right? I don't know. I was just feeling birch trees today.
That's lovely.
It was interesting because at this angle, I couldn't quite tell what was happening other than the water.
It's funny. It's like
Yeah,
a
that's
little
so cool.
dark, so it's actually new to me.
I saw
In
it
the
coming.
light.
That's beautiful. I love the red. Wow.
Thanks.
Hey, I think we missed something important too. Is that we forgot to ask Julie which.
Oh my gosh. We
Oh,
start every
yeah.
podcast
Yeah.
asking our guests which animal in the room they feel like best represents them. And thank you, Matador. That would have been a shame.
I think mine changed.
Yeah, just depending on the day.
Feel like
Yeah.
today.
You're not the judgy fox anymore.
I don't know. I kind of feel like I'm that little humble duck over there.
Okay, okay.
Hmm.
Evolution
You
is a big
know?
week of
Around
growth
that,
for you.
I look
I
at the
can't
humble
see.
duck.
Humble duck. She's just hanging out with a cute hat. I don't know. I feel like my husband's the one right above that. What is that? A capybara? He's gonna
I
laugh
can
because
see
I
it.
know he's watching this.
I can see Joel being a capybara.
Yeah,
Look at all of the
These are
medals he
good.
has too.
I know.
What a dashing guy.
Yeah.
Well, not that
That one.
one. Let's see. I'm going to panda.
Are you the panda?
Yeah, I'm going to panda.
Good choice.
Today. Yep. That's
Is that
me
the
today.
mayoral panda? Because that's
The
what
mayoral
I-
panda.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That was chosen
What
last
was it?
time
What
as
is
well.
it? What do you see in the picture?
Was it really? Well, I like the cash look
Yeah.
and the sort of Eastern influence, but I was also drawn to the sloth,
Yeah.
but I moved way too fast for that. So, that can't happen. Maybe that's my inner.
There you go.
Peace.
Okay, okay.
That's good.
That's awesome.
Thank you for asking.
Yes, thanks for reminding me, Matador. And
That's
thank you,
good.
Metronome, for being an incredible host for the podcast once again, and DuPont Financial Group for sponsoring this episode with Mayor Julie Hoy. And we'll see you all next Wednesday. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Nice to meet you.
It's nice to meet you as
Thank you.
well.
Thanks. All right.
I thought you'd be the zebra because your stripes don't change.
That's a good one.
Do we stop or are we still going?
I'm stopping it right now.
All right, everybody.